Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and I'm doing this one while on vacation, trying to give you all some content. And I've been using this knife for a good bit here, so I think I'm ready to give you all my final thoughts. This is the Civivi Appalachian Drifter. I think it comes in at like $83 or $85, somewhere in that price point. S35 VN steel, micarta. That taking a little bit of patina. It's a little bit better than their last micarta that I had on one. I forgot what knife it was. You have a captured pivot right here. This is and I do like this pocket clip. I wish they would use it more. Recessed pocket clip screws. It sits all the way into the pocket. You do not notice it. This is a detent. It holds open and closed by detent, and it has a flipper tab right there. Jimping is perfectly done on that and comes out with authority. I measured mine the other day, and this bad boy is, mine at least, is like I think 8 thousandths behind the edge. Very, very, very thin hollow grind on here. Decently thin blade stock. Comfortable in hand. And yes, the inherent, it is, it's not the safest knife, of course. A safe knife would be one that locks when it's open, or a fixed blade. But let's talk about it as it is, a slip joint. You can easily close it because it stays open by 2 detent balls that are on each one of these liners that are bent in this direction and this direction, and there's holes in the blade, and the pressure holds them whenever they fall into the little hole in the blade in the open and in the closed. So if you wanted to, you could increase the detent pressure on both sides by pushing the little tab further in, but you definitely, if you do that, you're going to want to do it very little at a time, because I've done this on another knife that's like this, you will make it to where you won't even be able to push this down at all, and the pressure will be too great to overcome. So definitely, if you do try to increase it, I would definitely take your time with that. I did increase this one a little bit, just to give it just a little bit more. From, I didn't want to easily before I just put my thumb right here and it would disengage that this detent right there. So I put it just enough to where I could still break it and I could still flip it out if I wanted to. You can also, as you see, you got these dual fullers. You have this like dark, like an acid wash look, but it's like a dark blast, stone washed. I'm starting to lose light out here. It is on bearings. You can use those fullers, at least on mine, to spidey flick it, and you could also use the fuller to open it up with your thumb. And being that I don't have a tripod right now, and I can't show you, easily do a two-handed operation, make it more like a traditional. You have a faux bolster into that micarta. The micarta, as you can hear, you do have some tackiness to it for grip, but it's not super grippy. It's tip up, left or right hand carry. Like I said, deep carry. I like the fact that they didn't break up the lines by putting a lanyard hole into the scales. They put it into the back spacer right here, as you can see, and the back spacer is basically like a cross-cut micarta because they use the end grain, which I like seeing that. It's a micarta back spacer. The weight on this knife is nice. Let's see if I can show you in there. Let me look off camera. I'm losing light out here, so I can't see, but I don't think there isn't any skeletonization, because you have those leaf spring, like a leaf spring type of thing with the detent balls in there, so you really can't you don't want to mess with the integrity of the liners. I get a full 4-finger grip on here, and let's talk about use. Okay, like I said, of course this isn't going to be as safe as a lockable folding knife. I mean, you can argue with me any which way, and I know I ruffled a couple of people's feathers by, you know, saying that I wasn't sure about how safe this is. And, you know, they say, you know, if you use it the way it's intended, it won't close on your hands. Well, that's just not true. And I learned that the hard way, because no matter what, when you're cutting stuff, I was cutting through some cardboard boxes for one of my family members here on vacation, and was pulling through and didn't make it all the way through the end, and you know, it was just like a pullback like that, and the blade closed. Luckily, it got stuck in the box, but you definitely see it closing on your hands if you're not paying attention. So the moral of the story is you just got to be safe with this knife. You know, just like a friction folder or even a slip joint, you just need to be careful what you're doing. You know, even a locking knife, you got to be careful. You do something stupid, you're going to cut yourself or close it on your hands. The one good thing about this is once you break that, unlike a slip joint, you know, it's not going to close on you at all until you get it into that detent ball hole. So definitely not a terrible idea. I think it would have been nicer if they would have either, like on a friction folder, would have had an area where I could keep my thumb on there just to give me some security from this thing closing down, or have a choil to put my finger in there so I can feel comfortable about putting my thumb up here. Because when I was using this knife, I kind of choked back right here and I was holding it like this, pulling through the cuts. Only time you really have to worry about it, you know, like I said, is if you're pulling and you don't get all the way through the cut and you go to pull out of the cut, you know, and it pushing it down like that. Or if you're cutting something and you come back and hit the top or something like that. Or if you're not paying attention and you're used to your motor skills from normal locking knives and you put your thumb up there, you know, of course, it could definitely come down on you. So you definitely have to be careful. I would love to see this in a liner lock. I know I'd buy it in a heartbeat. It's been performing nicely. I didn't bring any kind of strop or anything here with me, and it's still decently sharp. I've cut a good bit of stuff with this. I went out of my way to cut stuff with this. Sorry, I got a jacket on. It's chilly out here. And I just think it's a very attractive design. It has those, you know, slip joint-esque look to it, old traditional style. Everybody who's been on my channel long enough knows that I love clip points, and this is probably, you know, up there with some of my favorites in the design aspect. Very, very nice looking. It's well finished. And sorry, I'm hearing squirrels going back and forth. They've been keeping me up all night, jumping on my roof. But overall, I think it's a good design. Like I said, I would love to see this in a liner lock, or even a bolster lock would be great. But a liner lock, oh man, I'd buy probably 2 of them, because I love this knife. It's just I don't love the detents for an actual use. You know, if you're just buying a knife for fidgetability, yeah, buy this thing. It's you know, you don't just boop. You can just keep opening and closing it. But that's not why I buy a knife. You know, I don't like spending my hard-earned money on something that can't look good and be used at the same time. But that's just my forte. You know, you may want to keep it as a collection piece, and there's nothing wrong with that. They did do a good job on the sharpening choil. God dog it, I'm used to having my tripod. There's not, they cleared the plunge line there, nicely done. You know, they're usually pretty good about that. Good retention on the pocket clip, good spring to it. They did some nice job of finishing this area off right here. Oh, I don't know what that was. Sorry about that noise. And overall, you know, this is a knife that, say if I lost this one, yeah, I would probably buy it again. I'd be way more excited, like I said, if it had a liner lock, back lock, frame lock, something like that. Just because I wouldn't have to think about, you know, I like being able to get my knife out. Sorry. like being able to get my knife out whenever I need to use it, get it out, do what I have to do, and not have to worry about where I put my fingers or, you know, how I'm cutting something. Just get it out, cut it. You know, I a lot of times I put my thumb up there to put pressure down on my cuts. So that's something that I had to really be, you know, cognizant of, is putting my thumb on top of the blade like that. So there you go. This is my last video that I'll probably be doing here on vacation. We go home tomorrow, unfortunately, and the regular videos will be coming. I got a lot coming up, and I still have to announce the giveaway. More than likely, I will announce the giveaway whenever I get back. More than likely, probably Tuesday or Thursday, I'll probably announce the giveaway, and it'll either go on till after the new year, or I'll choose right after the new year, something like that, because it's just, it won't matter if I choose now anyway, because the post office, you're not getting anything out right now. So there you go. That is a Civivi Appalachian Drifter. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. Let me know what you think about this knife. If you own one, let me know what you think about it, and what you think about the safety aspects of this. And there you go. Hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day, and I will see you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.